Well, you could say the glass is half empty and half full. Half full because as people get more income, as the world population grows to 7 billion or more, as travel restrictions on the billions of people in China get lifted, and as they get more money in their pockets, there will obviously be a huge growth in demand. And a growth in demand obviously drives the manufacture of more aircraft. But now, what airlines will fly it, what airlines will stay solvent. There are a couple of major airlines in the United States that even today haven't got the cash to weather another big storm. And they're very lucky now that we have low fuel prices and they're not getting big new orders of aircraft. But if they start ordering great numbers of aircraft and there's any fuel price spike or there's excess competition, some big airlines could see bankruptcy.
Which airlines like these days do you see as being more in a better financial position versus those that are, with more potential problems?
And full disclosure, I am a retiree from American Airlines, and American Airlines is, and I think most analysts would say, is better positioned than most of the big airlines. United is not well positioned to weather a storm. Delta, or Delta Northwest, if you will, is another one that is on the edge, as is U.S. Air. So there are some big ones in tight financial straits. United had to float some bonds, and they had to pay like 13 or 14% interest rate on them. And there may come a time when people just don't want to lend money to airlines. It's like overpriced houses. You just can't find the funding.
So if it came to that, and whichever the airline, if one of them like that size were to falter, what impact would that have on the rest of the industry, the American industry? Anyway?
Right. Well, it'd have a dual impact. Obviously, say United went bankrupt tomorrow, and I certainly hope that doesn't happen. I can't predict it. But they would reorganize in bankruptcy. They would shrink a little bit, and then the low-cost carriers, the JetBlues, Southwest, AirTrans, would take more and more of the market share and more of their markets. In a sense, that's what happened when they went through bankruptcy last time. They got about 1/3 smaller than they were before.
Actually, that seems to just looking at the trends as I was looking at the statistics, the low-fare carriers, or so-called low-fare carriers, they really seem to have been growing while others have been sort of maybe stagnating or low growth. That really seems to be the segment of the market that has seen some bright skies ahead for them.
Yes. Yes, indeed, and they've gained market share, but again, they're a small component, so none of them is over 10%. Matter of fact, a lot of them are 5 or 6% of the market, but they're growing and they're gaining share and gaining passengers from some of the bigger carriers. If you just read the news last week, Southwest is going back into nonstop transcontinental flying, and they're, the Virgin America is going to O'Hare Airport, so they're picking, cherry picking, if you will, the good traffic from some of the old line carriers.